Thank you for listening to the Golden Hour Drip podcast with me, Logan Lee Miller. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Golden Hour Drip podcast. I'm your host, Logan Lee Miller, and this is your Fast Friday episode. So this past week, I went to coffee with one of my friends, and we hadn't seen each other for a fat while. And once we got together, we were catching up, right? Like we were talking about all the things that we had been experiencing. We had been talking about the things that we were doing, recent purchases, and she had swiped up on one of my Instagram stories a couple weeks ago and was like, "Your skin is glowing." And I was like, that is so sweet, honestly. I have been getting a facial every single month since December. This is a self-care act to myself. I get an hour, I'm relaxed, I'm not worried about anything. I'm just there on the table and they're gonna improve my skin, right? So we're talking about this, and we're talking about, usually when you get with a friend, you talk about your recommendations. You talk about what you've been liking, what you haven't been liking. And I was raving about my med spa. Like, it's very close by. The girls there are freaking amazing. I love them so much. The entire staff is awesome. If you're ever in the Warrensburg area, I highly recommend the Redefined Med Spa, right? Like, I've been going there, I've been getting my facials, I've been getting my Botox. Like, they honestly just make me feel so at home. And I was talking to Riley about this, and I was like, I love them, like, to the ends of the earth. It is my favorite place to be. It's all about me, and I just get to sit there and relax and literally not worry about anything. And I was talking about the pricing, right? Like, because it's like not, I don't know, it's affordable for sure, but I had to budget for it, right? Like, I had to set aside funds for this because it's something that I wanted to do, right? I could easily spend $200 on anything else, right? Like clothes or getting my nails done. Those, like getting my nails done, that's something I don't do. I get my nails done usually once a year, maybe twice a year. I always ask for it for my birthday. So like my mom and I just got pedicures and mani-pedis, right? Like, it's so fun. I love it. But that's not usually how I spend my money. I don't really buy like that many clothes in general. I don't really have any bad habits for like, I don't really smoke. I'm sorry. My brain was going in like 4 different directions. I don't really drink is what I was gonna say. I don't really drink. So like we have some alcohol. I like wine. I like Angry Orchard. I like June Shine, hard kombucha. But I don't like go out and drink all the time. I don't smoke, right? Like, that's where I was going with I don't really smoke. My brain was trying to catch up. I don't smoke. I don't really drink. So like sometimes that's where a lot of people's like funds go to, right? Like these habits. And I was thinking to myself about like, I spend money on facials. I spend money on CycleBar subscription or Pilates subscription, right? Like, and I was talking to Riley, and we were talking about some of the things that she had done, that she had invested in herself. And that's how I like kind of turned it, right? Like, she's like, oh my gosh, like I just spent like this amount of money on this thing. I'm not going to share like what she did or anything, just for like privacy. But I was like, it's not the fact that you spent the money, right? Like, because it's an exchange of energy. And this has been like such a big like mindset shift for myself whenever I am spending any sort of money, right? Like, I would say like where I allocate any of my funds is my like fitness workouts, right? Like supplements or, vitamins, things like that. My garden, my plants, I love flowers, and my facials, my Botox, my laser hair removal. Like, I want when I'm thinking about like my best self, when I'm thinking about the highest version of Logan and her happiness, right? Like what I really want is not like, I don't want to buy makeup to like put makeup on and feel beautiful that way. I want to spend money on skincare so I don't have to buy the makeup, if that makes sense, right? I don't want to like spend a bunch of money on shapewear or something that is going to be like constricting or anything like that. I would rather spend money on like working out. And I have just shifted my entire perspective on whenever I am spending money on something in my 4 categories, right? Like the 4 things that I love, I think to myself, this is okay. Because I've had some scarcity around money before, right? Like we've all heard our parents say stuff, our friends, our coworkers, right? Like all of these different ideas around money, and you might not even like realize it. I would highly, highly, highly recommend the book by Ramit Sethi, I Will Teach You How to Be Rich. It is so good. He talks about breaking down your mindset around money and how you don't have to avoid coffee, right? Like I love coffee, guys. Like I go to a coffee shop at least once a week, if not 3 times a week, right? Like don't tell my husband. But I love coffee. I like to go and get a beverage, whether it's matcha or a breve or, you know, a shaken espresso. Like I love those things so much. Like I know that boost of caffeine, like I should probably go to bed earlier and, you know, be more restful. I get it. But like it's something that makes me truly happy. And although it might seem so small, that coffee is an investment in my energy and my time and in my happiness. My facial is an investment, one, in my skin, right? Like I want to be youthful. I want to take care of it. The relaxing part of laying on this bed for an hour literally like melts away my stress. I meditate during this time, right? Or I think about my business ideas or what I want to do with my life, and I kind of process it out, and it's just some quiet time alone by myself without my cell phone, right? Like I can't have my cell phone, and it gives me space to just think and to absorb what has happened in the past few weeks, like whatever it is. And it really brought the attention of like, okay, some people might think of this as an expense, which yeah, money is flowing out of my bank account, but it's not leaving me, right? Like this money is going into something I love, right? Like if we think about the medical spa, my money is going into the med spa's bank account, and then they're able to make improvements or updates or get a new product for their place of business, right? Or the coffee shop, right? I love my small town coffee shops. Old Drum, and if you're located in Warrensburg, so good. If you ever go to Sweet Springs, Old School Coffee. If you ever go to Knob Noster, Missouri, there's Coffee Snobs. Like, I love these coffee places with all of my heart. They're so good. When I spend $5 or $7, and maybe I get a muffin, like it's $8, $10, and I tip them, like it's an exchange of energy, and it's also an investment in yourself. So whenever you are trying to budget or you have some scarcity around money or how much you're spending, because in this economy, people are very, very strategic with their dollars right now. We see it at the grocery store. Things have increased in price. We see it at the gas station. Literally everything in this moment is costing more. Our, rent has gone up in places. Interest rates have gone up in places. And so we might be cutting out some of our extras, right? And I definitely have taken a look at my budget, and I've thought of all the things that like Where can I strategically reduce the amount of funds that I allocate in that area? Where can I, save a little bit more? And really just breaking it down. But what I've also realized is if I completely trim all the fat and I'm not, say, I'm cutting out my facials, that is then like, what am I going to use that money on? Am I going to put it in my savings account and then wait for a rainy day fund? That's all good and dandy, but you're losing out on the exchange of energy, and you're also losing out on the investment in yourself. The things that you spend money on, there's a reason you spend the money on it. You like it. And I'm not saying overspend. I'm not saying go crazy or put it on your credit card or do any of those things, but to budget out for it, to break it down and think, you know what, like, is this actually an investment into me? Or is this like an impulsive shop, right? Like if you see something on TikTok and you're like, I have to have it, like it's so good. Or is this like, okay, like this is actually in one of my categories. This is going to be an exchange of energy. This is an investment in myself, because it's all about depreciating and appreciating assets, right? Like if you purchase things that I even have them, like I look around and something that I needed immediately, and I'll tell you right now, I had to have some eyelash tint and a perm. I wanted to have like this little, the eyelash lift. And I was like, I need this right now. And I was like, I'll move money out of my savings account so then I can purchase it. Always a bad idea. It wasn't very much. I was just thinking to myself, oh, like if I run out of money, I have like reserves, right? But here it was, $20. That's not going to break me. I know it. Like it's just $20. But I had to have it immediately. Man, it's been 3 weeks and that thing has still been in the box. That was an impulsive purchase. And it's all because I saw someone curl their eyelashes and had dark eyebrows. And I was like, oh, I want that now. And I didn't allocate the time. Here I spent the money, but I didn't actually make a commitment to doing the thing. There is so many impulsive purchases that we could do, right? Like there's so much that we see on social media, so much that we could buy or invest in or just spend our hard-earned dollars. And you really have to determine, okay, is this a depreciating asset? Is this going to give me, and even if it is, how much joy is it going to bring you? How much are you going to use it every single day? Can you actually think about it in a way like, yes, this makes sense. I'm not going to regret this in a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year from now, and trying to sell it on Facebook Marketplace after. We've all been there. So it all boils down to what is going to make you happy. Actually, it boils down to number 1, what is your budget? Number 2, what makes you happy? And number 3, is this something impulsive or a long-term benefit that is going to bring more energy, right? Because like our money, we had to work for the money, and now once we have the money, we're gonna like just spend it on whatever. Like we want the things that we spend our money on to be impactful, and we want them to become tenfold, right? Like the happiness and joy that I get from my CycleBar membership or my Pilates membership or my facial or even a plane ticket. I just went to Austin, Texas. Like that was an exchange of energy. What did I get out of that trip? You'll have to find out for Monday's episode. So that is it for this Fast Friday. Share it with a friend who might be struggling with the idea of spending money or investing in themselves. Be sure to share, rate, and review the podcast. I would sure appreciate it. So that is it for this episode, and until next time, bye.